because we're dealing with a finite source of power, coal, gasoline, oil, all those. The market will dictate that we find something else. And we are moving toward a place where wind and solar are becoming viable options, and the free market will support those without the government intervening. Again, anytime the government intervenes, there is a bubble created. It doesn't work. Now, labor. How does one increase production? It is usually done by increasing the efficiency of labor, therefore keeping the cost of labor down. That creates more production. More production creates more wealth for absolutely everybody. So, that being said, let me discuss. Are you alluding to unions or minimum wage?
Well, I really don't want to go into the whole union discussion. The gist of my comment was, how do we attract that labor force back to the U.S.,
God bless you.
which has gone elsewhere due to cheaper costs? In other words, you know,
I don't think most are coming back. I think, and everybody's going to hate hearing me say this, buying cheap stuff from China is a good thing for our economy, except when it comes to security, because we're buying our weapon systems, parts for our weapon systems from over there too. That's a bad idea. But buying cheap things increases our economy, because again, wealth is unused stuff. So when we have this stuff coming from China at a lower cost, it frees us up to do something more productive and therefore make more stuff that costs more to do. But we need the government to get out of the way for that to happen. Now, one of the regulations that has shipped a lot of jobs overseas and draws in millions of illegal immigrants is minimum wage. I'm not suggesting that we eliminate the minimum wage, although there's a good argument to do so. But the minimum wage sends jobs overseas. The minimum wage attracts illegal aliens because employers are looking for somebody that they don't have to pay. What's minimum wage? $8. $8? The employers are looking for people they don't have to pay $8 to do a $3.50 an hour job. And so those are the types of things that are driving. So these are the discussions we really, really need to have. And I will address unions. I'm not opposed to unions. I'm opposed to government subsidies of unions. You see, if a union has to compete in the free market, they'll be better unions. They'll represent their membership better if the government isn't subsidizing it. And how do they subsidize unions? They don't just send them money. Well, actually we are right now. But, no, really. There was a story that came out. I think it was the AFL-CIO used part of their pension plan to subsidize some political campaigns, and now we're looking at bailing out that pension plan. But anyway, I could be wrong on the letters, because there's so many unions with different letters. Anyway, if a union had to actually compete for its members' dues, it would represent its members well, like they used to when they actually started. So I think unions could be a very profitable thing for people if they had to survive on the free market. Yes, sir.